I'm Zoe Joyelle.
And I'm Alexis Simone.
And this is the Soundwaves podcast,
where we dive deep into the rhythms and stories that shape our world.
Yes. So how are you?
Cheers. I am well. I'm feeling well on this beautiful day. How about y'all?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. I'm revealing, but I'm good.
Period. Well, today, y'all, we are drinking yet another favorite.
Yes.
The pink rosé mocktail. Yes. If you have not tried it yet, go get you some.
Yeah, even though we don't have any sponsorships right now, but this one is definitely one of our favorites.
Yes.
Moving forward, if you're new, this is a mocktail. They have different adaptogens in it. We've only had one episode so far with real wine. We probably won't have any more. It's fun trying different ones and learning about the different herbs and stuff that go into it.
Yes.
So this is a mocktail.
Period. And I think like our favorite adaptogen so far that we've only been able to really build anything off of is L-theanine.
Mm-hmm.
So get you some of that too for energy, all the great things.
Clarity, all of that.
Facts. All right, so before we jump into the episode today, we have yet another icebreaker. And so today's icebreaker is going to be reacting to 3 songs that kind of may tie into the topic from today. I'm going to play like a cute clip really fast, and then we're just going to...
Or you might have to sing it.
Okay, I can do that. That's going to be funny. And we're just going to talk about that lyric and like why it's standing out to us. Okay. So, the first song is She Got Her Own by Neo. If you know, you know. When he hit that, I love it because she got her own.
We was listening to it yesterday. It was so funny because you know the chorus part when I love it when she say it's cool, I got it. And I was singing it because we was together yesterday. I'm on the couch like I got it, and I'm like, wait a minute,
I don't like
wait
that.
a minute, you love it when she say it's cool, I got it. Okay.
Like we love to say in this society, day and age, on social media and things like that. Like guys have been wanting women to be independent and tricking off of us, and we're the new men. But they've been thinking like that.
Yeah.
They've been telling us, look, I love when she independent, and I love when she got her own money, which we love when we have our own money too, but that doesn't mean we want to spend our own and not yours. Like, can it be a dual relationship?
I think that is to the far right, of course, like that's the biggest extent, but I guess if you're in a relationship, so this is our raw reaction, clearly.
Yeah.
I guess if you're in a relationship, like they be saying like, oh, if she don't offer nothing, she don't like him. And I can see that too. Because for your relationship that you've been in, you done bought that man some stuff.
That's what I'm saying, dual. We have to have 50-50. Like, not just, I love it when she got her own. It's cool, she got it. No, I got it, but let's both spoil each other.
Yeah. It was just funny that stood out. I was like, I got it.
We just singing along.
That's
like,
hilarious.
Wait a minute.
But nobody wants to date no bum either that don't have nothing.
No.
I don't care what your occupation is. Don't nobody want that.
Exactly. For both sex. Like men and women. As a man, you don't want to date a woman who doesn't have it. As a woman, I don't want to date you with no job, no car.
Yeah.
Not that.
That's going to be annoying.
Facts. Okay, so the next one is
That's funny.
Enough Crying by Mary J. Blige. And I'm just trying to sing this one.
Okay.
The breath control is crazy on that song. So it's the part when she says, the sex was good, you had my mind, and I let you come back every time you were violating and crossed the line, and you knew that I would be the type to always wait so patiently, thinking you was coming home to me. Well, damn, I never heard the keys, so felt your tap saying, are you sleeping? And she said, rewind that. And then she hit you with the, don't want to play house no more. You so dumb, you think you gon' marry me. So, let's talk about it, because...
So what you want us to react to? That's a whole lot of lines, ma'am. Which part?
I guess it's really the second part. The don't want to play house no more. You so dumb, think he gonna marry me. My mom, I think this song came out probably like 2008. Maybe that 2010 era too. I don't know which one. But she was blasting this song in the car every day. And screaming it at the top of her lungs, like this was her jam. And now as an adult listening to it, I'm like, yes, Mary, I don't want to play house no more.
Yeah.
At all.
It's hard. Like, first of all, I've been listening to a lot of old songs lately just because the music is better. And I was like, dang, like, it's kind of like we were taught the struggle of, for sure. And I know that's not a surprise, but it was like, you know how people listen to affirmations in the morning? Our moms was listening to that music, like,
drilling it in our
sheesh, aunties, everybody. And my reaction is just like, it's hard to think you're gonna marry me, right? It's like, you can't go that far and then want him to do blah 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 blah.
Right.
It's hard to do it like that. I think personally, I think it's hard to give them everything and then be like, "Oh, marry me." It's like,
why? We done already did X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So now it's like similar to what they say. Like, what is there to look forward to?
Yeah.
And that's why I think I love the statement of like women keeping their mystery. Because like give them something to look forward to. Even for yourself, like give yourself something to look forward to.
Yeah. So that's my reaction to that.
Yeah, Mary was not. She said she don't want to play house no more, and I feel her on that. Sips tea. Next song and our final song is "Dirty Laundry" by Kelly Rowland, and that song came out a minute ago as well, and I'm gonna try to find the lyric, but y'all,
it was about domestic violence.
Sis was going through it. Yes. I'm gonna try to. It's like one part of the song where I'm like, damn, like, y'all, she was hurting, and we was listening to this on the radio, just singing along.
Hella struggles. It was just hella struggles we was listening to. Only thing that was good was Kirk Franklin, Jump.
Right.
Stomp.
All the gospel songs. So it's the lyric, when you make pain look this good, it never wears out. And it's a lot of other statements in that song too. But I think women can relate to that, because if you continue to like settle and dwell into your hurt and stuff like that and never actually, I think we talked about another episode, like, show your true feelings. Like, if you're going through it, like, it's okay to show that you're going through it, instead of dressing it up and making it look pretty, and it never wears out. Exactly. Like, you're keeping that inside of you, never letting it out, you're never getting over it, and nobody's ever here to help you, because,
well, my reaction is I don't make it look good, so it wears out.
Yeah,
I got 2 days. I don't make pain look good at all.
Let it out.
I don't carry that.
And you can't.
I mean, I carry it, but like, it's carrying me. I don't know who's getting carried. That I'm not one of those pretenders. I'm not.
Yes, and I think that's great. You need to watch that episode when we talked about that, because let your pain air out.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
It's hurtful, and I think a lot of women may tend to do that.
I don't think it's a gender thing either, though.
I can see that. Men for sure. Men for sure cover their pain. Yeah. Y'all know.
It never wears out, sheesh. So I guess it's like saying like you normalized it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it becomes your trauma.
But you're gonna be a ticking time bomb, one day.
Yeah, you sure will. But that is our icebreaker, y'all. Leave your comments. Leave your comments below on like your reaction to those song lyrics, if you ever even heard those songs, and etc. We can't wait to hear from you.
Yeah, and just a comment on leaving a comment. Y'all be DMing me and texting me and all of these things. Can you please interact with the platform that you're watching the video on? That's all I'm asking.
Period.
Thank you. Okay. So today's topics are more than one. I know we've been creating episodes kind of based on one topic and then building out. We're just playing around with the ways we want to build out the podcast. So we're going to be talking about not dwelling in reflection. Like, of course you should be reflecting, but like there's a certain limit on that. Also self-sabotage, and stop persuading and start attracting. So those are the 3 that we're going to dive into. So the first question is, what inspired the episode? And I'll speak on that as well, but you can go first.
Okay, so what inspired today's episode for me was more so like realizing a consistency and patterns that I have as far as like expressing to Zoe and then myself, and then just like reflecting on the things that I want, but not necessarily taking action on it. And then time goes by, and then I find myself expressing these same wants and desires weeks, months, a year later, because no action was actually taken. I just been talking about it. I just been reflecting on it. And that is what really sparked the dwelling reflection. Because when we were having a conversation about it, it's like, yeah, like stop with the dwelling and actually when is the action going to take place. And so that is what inspired this episode on in my feelings, because it's like, yes, how much time is going to keep going by where you're expressing these things and no changes have been made.
Right. And my reaction to her expressing that, because I have felt the same. I don't feel that way now, but I have felt the same in the past before. And I was saying, when I felt that way and I was expressing it to her, I was like, I feel like I'm not depressed or anything, but there are some habits that linger, like with depression and stuff like that, like the dwelling, the like picking yourself apart and all of that. And it really takes away from what you could be doing today. And it's not just about being productive, but also like just being grateful. Like you're literally not where you used to be. Period. And also like we are so privileged to even have the time to be sitting down and dwelling. Like what? We don't even realize how privileged you are to have that time to even do that. Like people are out here struggling.
Nice.
They're not thinking about the past and what I blah blah blah. Like people are literally getting up and moving. Like that is a privilege to even sit down and be doing stuff like that. So that was my reaction to that. And then the stop persuading and start attracting. That's something that I wanted to talk about because I'm realizing that that's something that I want to clean house on. It's so funny because I think of myself as a self-aware person, and I think people can say that, but I didn't realize how much I'm still asking and not just like, I think I need to spend more time literally just becoming the best me, building the life that I want, and literally attracting and like life, the pieces will just fall into place versus like settling for the certain things in my life and waiting for it to be better, you know? Like just taking a little bit more control over my life, basically.
Yeah. And so that is what inspired this episode for both of us today. So let's go ahead and talk about it and dive a little deeper.
Yeah.
So today, the first question is, what does reflection look like to you? Like, do you have a certain time and place or that you feel most comfortable reflecting? Or is it just like, oh, something that sparked my interest and I actually want to ponder on it?
Reflecting. I think to a certain extent I'm always reflecting because it doesn't have to be like a sad reflection. It could be like talking to somebody and they brought a different awareness to me. So it could be something as simple as that, like a phone call. I live by myself, so I don't need a special place. Like how they be saying, what they be calling it, the secret place.
Like a little area.
The whole apartment is the secret place, honey. But I do find myself more like reflecting more when I'm on my luteal phase. If you don't know what that is, please Google it because I'm not going to stop talking about it. So go ahead and Google that.
It's important.
Yeah. Did you say how or just like where?
Yeah, like everything like sparks it.
I definitely think if I feel like I'm unsatisfied with something in my life, then that definitely sparks the self-reflection.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, what can I do about it and how did we get here and how can we get
Yeah.
So what about you?
I would also say that yes, if something is like unsatisfactory in my life, then naturally my mind starts to think, and then that's where that reflection comes in. New perspectives, but then also I love water. And so if it's in the shower, or if I take the time to like go to like a nature preserve and stuff like that, I find myself really having some great self-reflection in those moments and places. Not necessarily sad, you know, I have those interests of great gratitude I express, but then also I just start reflecting on my life overall, like the patterns that I've seen, the consistency that I've showed in other places, and just being thankful, not being in the same place, but still wanting to make changes and what needs to be changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think as all of us, because we're so exposed to so many possibilities on a daily basis, I feel like it's okay for us to want better and more and changes and stuff like that. But don't make it a dreadful experience. And I think I've been there before, especially before I was like just graduating and I was a server and then I was just reflecting on like everything I don't have, everything I want. It doesn't have to be a dreadful experience. Just that should be the gas, the fuel in your tank. Like, okay, that's what I want. That's what I'm going to get. And then the journey from where you are now and where you're going to be, that's the journey where you have to enjoy it. Seriously, because other than that, it's gonna be so hard. It's gonna be so hard to be consistent. It's gonna be so hard to be grateful every day. It's just gonna be like, still don't got it, and I be there. I do be having that negative attitude, especially when I have long days at work, and I'm like, this is like so much. But we gotta find not even a balance. You gotta get up out of there, like to really move out of that. Like
it really does hit into gratitude, but also it just makes you think back to on the beginning journey of self-awareness and reflection, and it really used to be like, okay, take your 10 minutes. Like I used to really tell myself, make sure you take 10 minutes to reflect today. It was like so like routine and schedule like versus now where it just flows and happens when needed. It is more on a consistent, not every day, every other day, but back then, a minute ago, it was, did you take time to reflect today? Did you take those 10, 30 minutes to write and journal? And it's just like a robot. Like, oh yeah, I did it. Like, so I should feel better.
That was better or now is better?
I would say now is better. Okay. It feels a lot more like authentic and genuine versus like it being embedded in my mind to reflect. And it's like, okay, I'm sitting here reflecting, I'm journaling. Yeah. Like, it's just like, it wasn't as of a smooth flow. It was like very robot-y.
That's funny. Yeah, like I don't know if y'all ever heard of the book The Artist's Way, but I started reading it. I didn't finish it because it was good, like the points they were making, but honestly, after a while, those inspiration books do get repetitive. That one wasn't repetitive. It was really creative because it was about each day like doing 3 pages, writing 3 pages like a brain dump. Every time you wake up, write 3 pages of whatever's going on in your mind. That works for some people, but it didn't work for me because I was like, I did it like for a week, and I was like, or maybe not even a full week, maybe like 4 days or something. But I also feel like sometimes when you diving into holes and stuff, like it's sometimes not a positive thing. Cause like I'm like sitting here like, what else should I write? It's like, girl, maybe it's just nothing. Maybe I got nothing to write. And that's okay. Like, we have to, like she said, authenticity is so important in these reflection and healing journeys and stuff like that. Like, there's so many ideas and recommendations on how you should do stuff. You just got to figure out what works for you. Because I don't feel like I need to write 3 pages every morning. I don't.
And I think that goes back to the beginning of the journey, too. Because when you start just reading all of those self-help books, and this is going to help empower you and change your life, they all say the same things in a way, just differently. And it's like, like... this is how I'm going to be a better person.
It's just funny because you can really get caught up in that. And it's similar to, like, what they say with your journey with Christ is, like, you can get caught up in the acts. Like, trying to do all of these lists, all of that stuff. That's the Old Testament. Relationship is so important. So relationship with yourself is important. Acting, oh yeah, I did this. Like, girl, are you happy? No. Are you happy?
I think it's a great start though. Like if you're someone who doesn't have,
if you've never done it before,
right? You're not taking any time to reflect. You don't have any self-awareness, or maybe you're lacking some. I think it is a great start to put you in that habit. Yeah. But as time went on, I'm grateful for the authenticity and the genuineness of just doing it when it felt needed, and it being something that I truly enjoyed at the end of the day. Yeah. Not
for sure.
Tearing myself down.
It's just funny thinking about the past sometimes. It's so funny because you just take so many things so serious, and you're gonna keep doing it. It's just different topics. My question is, do you think healing? Maybe I didn't word it the best. I'm sorry. I'm on my Leo phase, so it got a little spice in it.
Okay, period.
Do you think healing is getting dragged out in this generation? Like, I know we have stuff to work on, but we are literally, like I said in the beginning, privileged to have the opportunity to dwell. For me, you know, of course you want to process and reflect, but I think healing overall, for me, like everything that I've had to heal from, is definitely forgiveness and like an increased level of self-awareness. And it's so funny because I feel like when I was in my angry era, like for real, like 2018 or whatever time that was, after a while I was like, I don't think there's like, ooh, I'm hit. Like, you don't wake up healed
at all.
I think it really is like the self-awareness of being aware of your triggers, being aware of, oh, where did that come from? Oh, it came from that. Oh, from another unhealed person. Okay, how long am I gonna hold on to that? You know, so it's like forgiveness and self-awareness. Other than that, I don't really know what else, because it's like some stuff still hurts, or it doesn't hurt as much. You're not triggered, but it's like you can't do nothing about it at the same time. Yeah. So, like, staying in this healing journey, when is it done?
I don't think it's ever done. Like, I don't think the healing journey is ever done. And, you know, I think as you go on with your life, there will always be things that you need to improve, but we're not ever going to be perfect. So therefore, it's always going to be a over-ending cycle. I think knowing two important things that trigger you and working on it is great. Because then it starts to spill into other parts of your life. That's like how she said she was aware. So now I see that it came from another unhealed person. That triggers me to just forgive, because why am I going to hold on to it? And that helps like shape your life into a better part of what you want to live in, a better self that you want to live in. But I don't think it's ever over, and I don't think it needs to be the focus of your life.
The focus of your life.
Yeah.
That part.
Like, how much are you going to spend your whole life healing?
Because you're waiting for like this moment, but you have to create it.
Yes, you have to create it.
That's it. Like, you're not gonna wake. I mean, you do feel better. Like, there's a difference from me being upset and doing things that I had no business doing versus now. There is a difference, but I don't know. Like, it can't be the focus, bro. It cannot be the focus.
Yeah, once you work on things that you really feel like are taking up space in your life, like forgiveness, like that's something that actually helps move you past things. Yes, great. Let's keep moving forward though. Don't find another thing that you need to focus on and now heal.
Oh my God.
Like, you're just always going to be doing the same thing over and over and over again. And 10 years from now, there's going to be another moment or situation in your life that's going to spark something else for you to work on. And it's just take it as it comes. Like, you're not going to be perfect. And I think this generation has focused a lot on healing and becoming better and doing better. And that's great. Be your best self. But it's exhausting.
It is. It gets exhausting.
When do you live?
When do you live, right?
Yeah.
I think it's like similar. There's this quote in that J. Cole album, the one with all of the pills and stuff on the album.
Okay, yes.
The one that came out when we were in college.
Yeah.
And it was a quote in there, like, you know, it was like a woman talking like in the beginning or the end of the songs, but she was like, do you think God feels pain or God feels sadness or something like that? And then the answer was like, no, because it was basically saying, I can't quote it right now, maybe we'll add it, but it was basically saying no, because the higher your awareness is, then you don't really feel like those type of emotions. Like, of course, we're human, we're not God.
Right.
But it's just saying, like, the self-awareness really does help when it comes to healing.
Yeah. So it's just like, choose your one thing and go with it.
Yeah.
And let it apply to all the other aspects in your life. But I think you don't become, like, you stop being present when you're just always focusing on how to heal your life.
Yeah, because I feel like you could get caught up in what's wrong and what has been wrong. And that's a dark place to stay.
Yeah. And that ties into dwelling in the reflection. And I feel like I've done that. Like, just dwelling in, because when I'm reflecting, I'm like, what is wrong? Like, what is wrong with me?
Yeah.
How do I change what's wrong with me? I'm over this feeling. And it's just like, but you get caught in thinking about it instead of actually just doing something.
Right. Right. And then I also think that spending too much time alone kind of doesn't make it any better. Because I feel like when you're around other people and you're just seeing, like, they may have a really great outgoing personality or stuff like that. And it's like, so in order to live in that fullness, like, you literally have to get out of your head.
Yeah.
And I've been there. I've spent a lot of time in my head, especially in college, like, wanting to do all these different things. So amazed at how, like, you're exposed to how so many people are raised so many different ways. It's like, duh. But you don't see it until you're really out, and you're like, everybody's not living in their head, you know? Like, you know, like, you have to get out of that. So.
Some people are literally waking up and saying, I'm about to do this today.
And do it.
And do it.
That's it.
Not, I just thought about it and I wrote my 5 bullet points on why I should do it and how I'm going to do it. Don't get me wrong. Preparation is great.
Yes.
But yeah, no.
You have to cut it somewhere.
Facts. Well, that takes me to my next question, though.
Okay.
Is, are there any cons to self-reflection?
Yeah. I think you have to, it's a balance. I was just thinking as we're talking, like, it seems like no matter how old you get, no matter where you go, the balance is always like the key lesson. Like, if this was a game, it's like, well, all right, she looks like she's balancing. Okay, she can go on the next one. And you just learn how to balance more and more and more stuff. But if you get stuck, I think the con of the self-reflection is like, and you have every right to be sad about different things that have happened in your life, but the con is getting stuck there.
Yeah.
And the con is like, I feel like even you could go down rabbit holes and give yourself psychosis. Like,
no, for
if
real.
you're really doing too much.
I think that leads to depression.
Yeah.
The spending the time alone because you want to reflect and you want to think about the things that you've done and how your life has gone this way because of these actions and these decisions. And now I'm just digging deeper and deeper and deeper to back when I was 5 years old and this hurt me. And it's like, girl, you 25 now?
And what we gonna do? What are we gonna? We can't do what Raven did and looking at the past and the future.
Right?
What are we gonna do? We can't do anything.
We cannot.
All we can do is forgive. Like I think that's the biggest lesson that should come out of the self-reflection, and it's hard. And I'm speaking from someone who had a long journey of, I don't even want to call it healing, self-awareness. Yeah, let's call it that.
Yeah.
The increase of self-awareness.
The increase of
and it has to happen because you go from being, I'm just thinking about the college ages, so like 18 to like 24. Now I know you'll be graduated by then, but I mean like when that awareness starts to kick in and like start to affect you, like 18 to like 24. Everybody's like 23 was a doozy. I don't know if you've heard that before, but it's like it's bound to happen because you go from being a kid in your parents' house or wherever you were raised, and you have your schedules are set for you. You have to get up early. You have to go to school. You have to come back. You have somebody gonna make some food. I hope. I'm talking from my experience. I hope. I hope somebody was making some food.
Not everybody had that privilege.
Yeah, you know, something was. All I'm saying is schedules were made, and then as you get older, as you get out of that, as you get out of somebody's house, you kind of free up all of this space that so many people were taking in your life. Like you had friends in high school, parents, cousins, aunties. As you get older, I feel like you have kind of less people, and then you start to have so much more time to think about who you want to be, how you are this way, and then like I said, you're exposed to how other people are. Like coming from New York and then going to college in Atlanta, it's like, oh, this is different. You know, and so that's where the questioning starts to happen. Like, wait, why was mine like this and hers was like this? And yeah, so I feel like I say all that to say it's bound to happen, but we have to get out of it.
Yeah.
The con is like she said, you could give yourself depression, or you could genuinely be depressed. It's just scary to see people get stuck there. Like people actually be losing their mind in their 20s.
And some people really don't know that you have the choice to not feel like that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have the choice.
When you think about people losing their mind in their 20s, it's sad.
It is.
Like even like I feel like the weed, like smoking a lot, you can like it changes your whole personality. Like you just become a type of person.
You come up that natural high.
Yeah.
And buzz.
But not even that. I'm talking about like the people that numb their pain. And they just be like dry.
Which is so strange because I've had different experiences off smoking and it sparks reflection.
Ain't nothing was numb. I don't think I was numb
at all. At this point, I'm thinking more about something I was trying to not think about. So I guess doing it every day though. You know how people smoke like before they eat and multiple times. Like I think
before they go to
maybe
sleep.
You smoking that intensely may numb you, but not with me, baby. Now I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So I would say the same though. I think that dwelling in your reflection is a con to self-reflection, like digging your hole deeper, and then also tearing yourself down in your reflection. So like I said, like I was someone who, and are somebody who self-reflects, and then sometimes I start thinking like, what's wrong with me, and like why do I think this way? How can I change it? And then it starts to become like tearing down a little bit. And so now I'm like having negative self-talk versus positive self-talk because I'm trying to think about all these different ways I am and it's wrong and I need to change. And it's just like, that shouldn't be the intention behind the self-reflection, not to tear yourself down. Yeah.
I don't know if it's a book called The 3-Second Rule or if that's just something people talk about. But it was like about, it could be a book or a conversation. I'd be watching, I don't know where things are coming from no more, but it was basically about like changing your 5 a.m. like for a 5 a.m. routine or whatever. And it was like you literally have like 3 seconds to decide what you're going to do. So like what she said, like in the self-reflection, if it's something in the moment where someone's talking to you a certain way and you're like trying to figure out how you want to respond, you can either respond like your old self or you can respond like you're who you want to be. It's like those little moments where it's like, should I go down this hole about how, why, who, this, da-da-da-da? Or should I just change my reaction today? Like,
right, in the moment.
And move forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So learning with that.
Yeah. So this one is more of a statement. Do you have another question? Because I'll go before. Yeah, you can ask your question.
Okay. So this question ties into self-sabotaging, which I think also it's a pattern with life and navigating your 20s because you're taking in a lot of different perspectives and things like that. And so it's when do you know you're in the habit of self-sabotaging?
I know I'm in the habit of self-sabotaging when there's no resolution coming out of what I'm thinking about. I guess it doesn't even have to be in the mental. Self-sabotaging for me is also, I don't want to drink no more, but like I don't mind having a drink when I'm out or something like that. So I'm still trying to find, once again, the balance. The balance. Like, I don't know, because I don't mind drinking. Like, it's cool, but I think, like I said, college and all that stuff, like I had a history of like maybe drinking too much or like maybe being sad after I'm at home drunk and stuff like that. So I don't want to experience any of that. I guess that's more like not being drunk, which I haven't gotten
to that
drunk.
point.
It's giving 2 drinks, you know, but I think that could be self-sabotaging just as far as like creating rules for yourself and not doing them for whatever reason, for like a fast feeling of fun or fulfillment. When it's not gonna work out.
Yeah, so that like discipline.
Yeah, it's like as soon as I know some stuff that I shouldn't be doing no more and I do it, the lesson is immediately after. Like, that's a self-sabotage for me, not doing what you say you're gonna do. And then what was the first one I said? I don't know, girl. You heard it.
Right.
It's
drop it in the comments to remind us,
y'all. It's the luteal brain.
I totally agree though. Like setting a boundary or a goal for yourself and then going back on your word.
Yeah.
It is self-sabotaging and it hurts because the lesson does follow right after. And it's like, I knew in the moment I shouldn't have been doing that.
Right.
But I decided to, for whatever XYZ reason, temptation, temporary feelings of sensation and just like fun and things like that. And then the lesson comes and I'm like, yeah, I knew better. I didn't choose to do better though. And here we are living with the consequence. I think it's a scary thing to not know when you're self-sabotaging though. Yeah, because like you start making your actions and decisions take you in a place that you don't need to go in.
But can you expand on that? Like, what do you mean?
So like I have self-sabotage in a way where I feel like I was doing patterns of behaviors. I can't even think of one specific thing because I've self-sabotaged in my life through different jobs, like taking a job that I know I shouldn't be at, or not following through with this discipline of eating right and then waking up feeling like crap. So I have different habits that I feel like have led to self-sabotage. But I feel like when I do it and I'm unaware, it's like a consistent feeling of sadness and then also complaining. And it's just like, I'm not even aware that I'm self-sabotaging. I just know that I'm unhappy and I'm just taking it as that. Like, oh, I'm just unhappy in my life. Like, and creating that the overarching like theme. But really it's like, know your own actions and of you like self-sabotaging.
Always.
Is why you're unhappy versus just like labeling like, oh, I'm just so sad. It's just,
you're
just
smarter
not going
than that.
away.
You're smarter than that.
Yeah.
And you're smarter than that.
And you need to do it.
And you get a car. No, but you're smarter than that. Like, y'all smarter than that. Like, literally, we are in control. I don't know why the game thing is sticking with me with life right now, but literally take the controller. Take the controller, bro.
Yeah.
And I want to search for, I'm looking at new career options, new jobs right now. And with the self-sabotage, I was thinking, like, I don't think with this career choice that I'm self-sabotaging. I just think when you know it's time to go, it's time to go. But self-sabotage, that topic made me think about, like, what do you believe you deserve? Because, like, that's what I had to think. Because, like, I got on the phone with a recruiter, and I was proud of myself because, like, what she offered is not what I wanted.
Right.
But it just reminded me, like, dang, like, I've come so far because I was reflecting on certain things that just, I can't say they didn't have to happen because life is how it was going to be. But, like, you put up with things or, like, you accept things in your life because you don't believe that it can be better. As much as we think we're so smart, that's why I keep telling myself, like, I'm challenging myself because there's certain things that I'm just really, like, I'm done with. But it's so crazy to think that you know better. But it's like when you look at your certain things, it's like, did you, though? But did you? Like, this is a cute quote. But did you really soak it in? Like, do you really believe that you deserve better?
Yeah.
Because if you do, what the hell are you doing right now? You know, like...
Yeah, self-sabotaging.
Yeah, like, so that's why I said you know better. Because you do know better. Like, nobody else, in the grand scheme, nobody else is making your life
miserable or
like
what you don't want it to be.
Or if they are, I feel really bad. Like, I feel really bad because people do be in fucked up situations. But you have to learn how to get out of that some way or somehow, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about the depths of hell. We're not talking about that. We're talking about self-sabotage, okay?
Right.
I ain't talking about
making your own decisions.
I'm not talking about everything else that's going on and going on and going on.
No domestic violence, none of that. Like, you have control of your situation and like taking the actual decisions that you need to do to elevate your life. I'm talking about that.
Yeah, so even on the stop persuading and start attracting, I would just think about, because I don't think it's that 30's around the corner. Like, that's not something that I remind myself of. I just like the idea of, like, I'm literally very grown.
Yes.
And so, like, today and every other day moving forward is the perfect time to build the life that you want for yourself. But the question of, like, what do you believe you deserve is so important, because it's not just like, oh, I want this and I want this car and this house and I want to travel the world. It's like, do you look at yourself as the person that's going to put that work in, though? Mm-hmm. Because that's a part of the person that you imagine yourself to be, like the disciplined part. Like,
yes.
Do you see yourself as that? And if you don't, you need to work on that. And that's for me and for whoever else can relate.
Yeah.
Because that's the self-sabotage part. Like, you know you could be better. I think that's what it is. Like, you know you could be better and you're just not. And it's like, we don't have, time is not a promise.
Right.
So it's like, you gotta get it together sooner.
Yeah.
Sooner than tomorrow.
Later. Right. Yeah, I had that conversation with myself literally in the mirror the other day. I'm like, you don't want to live a mediocre life, but are you actually putting in the work behind the things that you say you want that's going to take your life from mediocre to the greatness that you aspire for yourself? Yeah. Yeah.
And it's to continue to be your own friend in the journey too. Because I think that's where I've been before in the past. Like, trying to use I don't know if it would be negative or like a tough love approach, and of course like that's necessary, but you have to be your own encourager in these moments when you're trying to make the different changes in your life. Yeah, because that part, that's when you be sad again. Now you self-sabotage again, because now
you're like, you're right,
you become your own bully, and now we back at square one.
Yeah, because I'm sad that I'm not doing it, and I'm just
don't be your own bully. Yeah. Well, I wanted to say this statement. Okay. Like I said, when I'm talking, I feel like I'm talking to women of our age, like friends, cousins, and stuff like that, but also sisters. So I just wanted to say, strive to get the resources you need, community. Like, once you know what it is that you want and what it is that you're lacking, just make the plan and literally take advantage of every day. Like the depression thing, I don't have much advice on that besides getting the resources that you need. Like, making it clear about what you need and don't get stuck in what you don't have. Yeah. The sooner we can get to what we need, we can start moving closer to those things. Right. Versus being stuck in the what I don't have, what I hate. Like, that's not going to change the situation. Yeah. So, yeah.
That's my favorite thing to do, is to look up resources.
Yeah. Yeah, facts. You better follow her.
That's my favorite thing to do.
She be posting all the resources.
Yes, because community and resources are so important to our livelihood. And I think that as society has gone on through social media and technology, that we've isolated ourselves through technology and just like not being there for one another. But you need community. Yeah. You need resources. And whether that's therapy, a yoga class, a free workshop on mental health, anything. Yeah. You need some type of help, and there's something out there for everybody. So go find you one.
Yeah. Okay. Are you ready for the moment?
I am.
Okay. So, tell me how many times I said Ludio. I don't know.
About 4.
But this moment is really like, what moment are you currently in? Are you having a moment? What is it? So, I'll go first, because I kind of just dropped it on you like that. But the moment that I'm currently having is like, I'm really surprised with myself. And I know a lot of people in my life say that I'm hard on myself, but I'm surprised with myself because I'm like, because of different decisions I've made in the past that may have not been the best, I didn't realize how much it has caused me to live in fear and play small. Like, with certain things that I want out of life, it's like, I will find the 2-year program that I want to do. Just do it. It's like, I feel like I'm just now realizing that I equated like attention and building a platform to danger in a way, because like the more people you know, the more people you have in your life and stuff like that, it has not always been the most positive experience for me.
Mm.
And I didn't realize how much I've been playing small. Like, of course, with my goals with the discipline, but like really not wanting attention, but then at the same time wanting to build community and stuff like that. So it's like, what are you doing? Like, I just been, the moment is like really confused by my actions versus what I want, and realizing how much they're contradicting one another.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whoa. So that's the moment I'm having. I'm just having realizations of like cleaning house and like really surprised at what I've been doing. But it's also, like I said, the perfect time for these realizations. Like, there's no rush, like, oh, I should have been learning this. It is what it is. Like, I'm 26. I think it's a perfect time to be learning these type of lessons.
Yeah. Because why not now?
Yeah.
You don't want to be years down the line still thinking about those things.
Right. Because people be doing that. People wake up. That's the midlife crisis stuff. Like, oh, what have I been doing?
I actually did not do anything I ever said I wanted to do.
Yeah, that's scary. Because
that
that really does become your life. Especially when you have to have a job. You have to do all these things. But it's like, all right, we're going to have to start moving in the right direction, though.
Right.
Like, to get up out of here.
To move past it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's your moment?
My moment is having realizations of being comfortable and complacent, I will say. Like, I think these past 2 weeks I've realized, like, you've been okay with saying you want better but living very average. And so in my daily routines and habits, and also like playing small, like knowing that I want to do certain things and then taking it very lightly. For example, I want to go back to school. My goal is to become a therapist. The application was due. I'm doing it on the due date. Why? Why are you playing with your time and your life? Like, where is the discipline and where is the actual drive? And so I think that is where the complacement comes in. It's because, like, you say you want better, but then you're actually like, oh, I'm okay with where I'm at. But you're actually not.
Yeah. You're
actually not. You don't like it. And so I've been taking these few days to really, like, strategize and not really dwell in it, but then also just kind of prepare at the same time and just give myself some positive feedback. Like, you are in a better place than you were a few years ago, but then you still want to keep increasing and growing and things like that, and you're slacking. You're not taking it seriously. I was very like, wow. It was a very wow moment for me. Like, you really knew about this deadline for like a month. And I'm doing it on the deadline, and it was just like, you're playing with things that you say you desire. How much do you actually care?
Right.
And so, it's in other things as well in my life. So it's just like being complacent and increasing that standard for myself to be better.
Yeah.
That's the moment I'm in.
I love that. I love the honesty. And I would say, like, all the things we talked about, I just look sometimes at how opinionated people are online and stuff like that. And I feel like your own lack of fulfillment, it like breeds you to be so opinionated, because I have all these creative directions and things that I would love to aspire to do and am working to do that. And it's like, if you just become like an unplanted fruit or something, like, you just have all this potential, and then you become a person with all these opinions of how somebody else should be doing something right and all of this stuff. Do your own stuff. Like, what's the opinions on your own life? And that's for me too. Like, what is the opinions on your own life, you know? Yeah. Like, you gotta get it together. Because we have all the right ideas for somebody else. Like, and we have to apply that right here, right now.
You gotta be the example.
For real.
You got to be the example. And I think another message is just like sowing those roots so you can actually bear the fruit. Because, like, you do want a better life, you do want increased quality of things, and you have different desires, but if you don't like start and plant the seed, it's just always going to continue to be another temporary branch that you are jumping from instead of actually just starting somewhere and taking it from there. Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay. All right.
Get it together.
Well, that's it. Thanks for riding the wave with us.
We'll see y'all next week, same time, same vibe. Bye.